Hello. Tonight's story is called Feeling Jealous. Jack was 7 years old and he lived with his mum and dad, his older brother Tom and his little sister Maddie. Usually Jack enjoyed playing with his brother and sister, but when Tom or Maddie get all the attention, Jack feels jealous. He wants to shout, "What about me?" Do you feel jealous sometimes? Shilpa is Jack's best friend and she lives with her mum and dad with her little sister Lila. Jack and Shilpa are in the same class at school, and sometimes Shilpa gets jealous of the other children in her class, and when she feels jealous, she wants to say horrible things. What do you do when you feel jealous? In the morning, Jack's mum dresses his baby sister. Maddie brushes her hair and gives her breakfast, and Mum says Jack is old enough to get ready for school by himself and get his own breakfast. Sometimes he doesn't mind because he likes to make a big bowl of cereal for himself. He does mind this morning, though. He feels jealous. He wants Mum to make a fuss of him, not his baby sister. And Jack says, "Mum, help me find my library book." And Mum said, "Not now, Jack, I'm busy. You can do it yourself." "But I want you to find it," said Jack. And he frowned. Mum can see that Jack feels left out, and she stopped doing Maddie's buttons, and she gave Jack a hug. "We'll find your library book together," she said. On the way to school, they met Shilpa. She played peekaboo with Maddie, and then they got the giggles. Jack felt left out. He thought, "Shilpa's my friend. She should play with me, not Maddie." Jack takes Shilpa's hat and he puts it on to make her laugh. Maddie giggled at Jack and Shilpa's hat, and Jack put Shilpa's hat on Maddie's head, and they all got the giggles. He didn't feel left out anymore. When they got to school, Jack and Shilpa said goodbye to Maddie, and Maddie screamed and cried. She didn't want them to go. Mum said, "Maddie's jealous. She wishes she could come to school too." "You can't come, Maddie," said Jack. "You're too little, but I'll play with you when I get home." Maddie stopped crying and she gave him a big smile. "Come on, Jack," said Shilpa. "We're practicing the play today." And Jack feels sorry for Maddie because she can't go with them, but he's glad that he can go to school with Shilpa and his friends. Jack is playing the drum in the school play, and Shilpa wants to be the dragon. Mr. Davis, the teacher, says, "Tessie's the dragon, Shilpa, you can be the rabbit." "But I want to be the dragon," said Shilpa. "It's the best part." Shilpa is very disappointed because she thought Mr. Davis would ask her to be the dragon. She feels jealous of Tessie, and she doesn't want Tessie to be the dragon, and she doesn't like her anymore. Shilpa was unkind to Tessie. "I would be a much better dragon than you," she said. "Mr. Davis should have given me the part." Tessie looked very upset. "You shouldn't boast," said Tona. "Now you've made Tessie cry," said Billy. Mr. Davies knows that Shilpa is disappointed. "You'll make a very good rabbit, Shilpa," he said, "and Tessie will make a very good dragon." And Tessie wiped her eyes and smiled. "Everyone has a very important part," said Mr. Davies. "The princess would never be rescued if it wasn't for the rabbit, and the band wouldn't come in on time if it didn't play the drum," said Jack. Shilpa tried on her rabbit costume and she began to feel excited about being the rabbit. She didn't mind not being the dragon anymore. She was sorry that she was unkind to Tessie. After school, Shilpa went back to Jack's house for tea, and Jack's big brother Tom was excited. "Dad's taking me to a football match for my birthday," he said. "I want to go," said Jack. "You can't. It's my birthday treat, not yours," said Tom. And Jack felt jealous because Dad hadn't given him a special treat. "It's not fair," he said. Jack wants to spoil his brother's fun. "I know what Mum and Dad are giving you for your birthday," said Jack. "Don't tell me," said Tom. "I want it to be a surprise." "Don't spoil Tom's birthday," Jack said. "Mum, it'll be your birthday soon, and then you will have presents and a special treat of your own. And I'll try not to mind if I'm not invited to come on your special treat," said Tom. Dad and Tom set off for the football match. "Can I go to a football match for my birthday treat too?" said Jack. "Wait and see, it'll be a surprise," said Mum. Jack stopped feeling jealous of Tom because he and Shilpa were busy wondering what the birthday treat would be. When Shilpa got home, her little sister Lola was wearing her new swimming badge. "Isn't Lola clever?" said Mum. "What about me? I've got 6 swimming badges," said Shilpa. Dad's home too, and he and Mum make a fuss about Lola's swimming badge. Shilpa felt jealous. Everyone's praising Lola, and no one's making a fuss about her 6 swimming badges. Lola's only got 1. At bedtime, Shilpa still felt jealous and left out. She said, "I can swim much better than Lola." Mum said, "It's Shilpa's turn for some praise." "Of course you can. You're a very good swimmer," she said. "But Lola got her very first badge today. Do you remember the fuss we made when you got your first badge?" said Mum. Shilpa laughed. "I even wore my badge to bed, didn't I?" "I think Lola's still wearing her badge," said Mum. I wanted you to make a fuss of me, not Lola, said Shilpa. It's very hard not to be jealous when someone else is getting all the attention, said Mum. Do you ever feel jealous, said Shilpa. Well, everyone feels jealous sometimes, but I feel much better if I can be happy when other people are happy, said Mum. And I feel much better if I can think of all the good things that happen to me, said Shilpa. What do you do to help you stop feeling jealous? You'll have to have a little think about that. You can't help feel jealous if Mum's giving more attention to somebody else than you. But you have to just get over it and know that your mummy loves you very, very, very much. Good night. God bless. Don't forget to kiss Mum. Night-night.